What horror films are actually underrated? I asked viewers to submit their answers to this question, and today I've got 5 horror movies to review and see if they're truly underrated. Oh boy, this could be a doozy. First is Veronica, recommended by Gustavo. A movie's quality should speak for itself, meaning that a gimmick like only 13% of viewers finished this movie sounds impressive until you actually start to think about it for 10 seconds. Maybe, just maybe, it's not that it was too scary, but it's not that fucking good. Wow, everyone stopped watching this movie. Must have been fantastic. Fear is subjective, but if something is marketed as reigning supreme of scares, you gotta bring something new or spectacular to the table. Even if I don't find it scary, I should still be able to appreciate the effort involved. But with Veronica, what is there to write home about? Why is this so special? And the fact is, it's not. Veronica brings nothing new, and if you're gonna do the same possession shit as everyone else, then do it really, really well. And the film just doesn't. Acting is fine. Effects are fine. Horror moments are actually kinda goofy to me. Oh no, a bunch of naive teenagers around a Ouija board. I've only seen this 12 times. Are you gonna do anything creative with this? Anything original? I honestly don't have much to say otherwise. Everything about Veronica is okay. The only aspect that stands out in any regard is the music, only because it's a bit distracting, but I get that's trying to set the time period. Veronica does everything decently, from acting to cinematography. Is it scary? Not really. Is it interesting? Not really. And what a shame, because Rec, also from Spain, is one of my favorite horror films of all time. But this is a far cry from Rec. Hell, it's a far cry 3 from Rec. That's how awesome the difference is. It's fine for a rental. After all my bitching, I can't even say the movie is bad. But after watching it, I also don't have much to say about the plot, characters, or specific scenes because I've seen all of it before and seen it done better. Not underrated, 5 out of 10. Next is Thanatomorphose, recommended by Dr. Juice. Whoa! A movie that's as wacky to watch as it is to spell. A delightfully simple plot. Girl starts literally rotting and doesn't know why. Add in some poop, vomit, and violent sex, and you got yourself a real knee slapper of a movie you won't want to miss. What an intro! How beguiling! But then the characters start talking, and whoopsie doodle, they spent all that money on impressive gooey makeup and didn't have any left over for casting, because this is like watching 2 Amber Heards. But this is a thought-provoking film. You'll be asking yourself questions like, why am I watching this? What am I doing with my life? YOLO! Thanatomorphose. Fun for the whole family, provided that it's the Manson family or the feckin' Boltons from Game of Thrones. Thanatomorphose. Train your gag reflex without having to be a congressman. Thanatomorphose. If you want to see rotting flesh and miss Tom Petty at the Super Bowl, check this out. Thanatomorphose, when a Serbian film doesn't get you hard anymore. Not underrated, 2 out of 10. Next is Van Helsing, recommended by James Plays. Okay, first thing to note, this movie is dumb. There's a scene early on that's basically Q showing off gadgets to James Bond. It's irritating and overly long, with huge audio spikes. It doesn't help that Hugh Jackman's accent is at its worst here. It changes throughout the film. I don't know what happened. Kate Beckinsale spends a good chunk of the movie standing around delivering flat dialogue, but the worst one is the bad guy. I hate the main villain in this movie. I hate him so much. He's a cornball without any of the fun you'd expect from a ball of corn. He's not chewing the scenery, he's not operatic, he's just lame. And here's the thing, because I know people are already in the comments yelling at me. I found myself really trying to like this movie. The laboratory clearly took work to create. I actually enjoyed the fight with the giant, as goofy as it is. There's a wolf de-transformation that's pretty impressive for 2004. Shame the actor playing the werewolf is god-awful, but it's okay. There's one music track that sounds pretty cool, but some issues I can't ignore. Van Helsing has the Matrix Reloaded problem where the action scenes go on for so long they become monotonous, and they don't have satisfying payoffs. I mean, the scene with the female vampires goes on forever. And I know the more brainless writers out there will go, hey, Kate Beckinsale in a corset and Hugh Jackman with a crossbow. What more do you want? But that's not a movie. That's just 2 people in a movie. Not even, that's just costume and props. And also, if you're gonna go with the casual schlocky route, why the frick is this movie over 2 hours long? There are these extended scenes that feel like I'm watching a play, a melodrama written by teenagers and performed by children. But then, leading into the third act, there's a good 20 to 25 minutes that's actually really good. Frankenstein's monster is tragic and interesting, and I like the makeup and overall design. A ticking clock is set up in the plot. Our heroes are working together not just as bumbling warriors, but actually tracking someone, making a plan, adventuring. One big problem leading up to this was that the shitty villains had too much screen time, the action scenes dragged on, but now it's more about the heroes, and the set piece at the ball, while underwhelming, at least didn't overstay its welcome. The downtime means more character work. The plot has momentum. I was sitting up straighter. It's such a shame that the climax is such a fucking mess. The editing is all over the place. All the lightning and electrical experiments mean that there are bright blue flashes for about 20 minutes, and it's annoying as hell. It's shot horribly. It's just shit, badly put together nonsense, and it really soured my experience because the film was starting to win me over. So the verdict? Underrated? Almost. But because of that third act, I gotta say no. Overall rating, 5 out of 10. By all means, chuck it on the TV. And at the very least, I enjoyed it more than the next film, which is Dolls, recommended by Dadside Hobbies. This is your typical cheap 80s B movie with so many thunderclaps it's basically applause. It's directed by Stuart Gordon, who did the infamous Reanimator, so campy horror should be expected. But the problem isn't so much the campiness, but the fact that it's not very exciting. The dialogue scenes are repetitive and move so slowly that it's hard not to just get impatient and say, oh my god, just show the evil dolls already. There's all this build-up, but without good music or cinematography or acting or dialogue. For example, the opening credits are a gigantic missed opportunity. My first thought was that they would show one doll next to all the names, and then the doll would slowly change and become more demented. Instead, new dolls keep showing up, and the credits end up as stale and dull. Oh boy, what to say? The acting is horrendous. And while the acting is bad, I think the music is worse, unimaginative and shrill. I will say that seeing the dolls actually look around with wide eyes is unnerving, and once danger starts, the film does improve. It's at least moving somewhere, and it's more entertaining watching bad actors in danger than, talking. I do think the decision to give the dolls voices made them less scary, especially since they all sound like the grunts from Halo. Also, small thing, but it confuses me why people light candles when many of the rooms are well lit with artificial light. But then again, I shouldn't worry about that if the movie has shit like a woman diving headfirst through glass because a few tiny dolls stand in her way. Again, it's a camp movie, so we're supposed to be laughing at it to a certain extent, and I did a couple times. The funniest moment for me was when a thief says, "I'll sneak out and no one will hear me," while she's draped in like 50 jangling necklaces and bracelets. Then there's another character dying from a doll firing squad. Pretty funny. Overall, I can't recommend it. It could have been scary, it could have been interesting, it could have been fun, but it's too dumb, bland, and boring to be any of them. Like I said, I'm fine with camp, but boring camp is the worst kind of camp. Apart from finding out a celebrity is a counselor there. Not underrated, 4 out of 10. And last up is Relic, recommended by Theon de Groot. I'll admit my hopes were not high for this one. I'm frankly tired of the old people are scary or dementia is scary trope. Dementia is definitely terrifying, but in a sad, real-life way, not in an entertaining way. And Relic opening with an old woman standing naked, doing nothing like that's a big scare, didn't exactly fill me with promise. I did like Emily Mortimer in this, and her character as well. I quickly understood her personality, motivations, and overall saw her as a well-realized, believable person. She's interesting, she's practical. It's too bad the film makes her do something so nonsensical early on it betrays her character. Weird, I just saw a living, breathing thing under the bed. Bah, whatever. What the hell? No, stupid, check one more time and call the police. There's a dream sequence that's kinda cheesy, but maybe I'm spoiled by the ones in Suspiria 2018 because they were so good. However, there's a wall thumping scene, and that one is good. There's a great shot of a wall stain and the characters' heads are just barely in the frame. The whole thing is ominous and oppressive and implies everything you need to know. Unfortunately, I'm kind of getting Veronica vibes from this. There's not much here I haven't seen before, and this would all be fine if it were tense or scary or offered up something interesting to discuss, but everything about the Relic is kind of flat. A fairly simple concept that's explored at surface level. Now, the film ratchets up nicely in the third act. The practical effects look good, and there's an intense moment of tug of war inside of a wall. I think critics were overly impressed with this one, being about the horrible process of aging and all of that. And just to get personal for a second, I am no stranger to the complicated emotions of death or decline in family. It's a sad reality in life, but I consider this much better suited for drama than horror. And if you do go the horror route, you gotta do more. If you can leave this video with anything, it's this. I don't think the mere fact something is sad or gross makes it scary. And a movie touching upon a real-life issue, while admirable to a point, also needs to be entertaining or insightful or both. And Relic doesn't do much on either of these fronts. And look, I don't want to act like this is a total miss. It's tastefully shot. The performances are solid. It was hard to tell what effects were practical versus CG, and that's a good thing. All in all, it needed to do more. In the horror, in the drama, in the themes. Underrated, I'm gonna go with no. Rating, 6 out of 10. I wish I could give you all a happy ending to this video, but this is the horror genre, and I'm not a masseuse. What horror movies do you think are underrated? Comment below. I'm gonna do another video like this, but with a different theme, so stay tuned for that. Check out the Patreon link below if you want to support the channel, and as always, thanks for watching.